On this week's Booze and Bazinga, we are talking Civil War. I am Team Iron Man.
And I am Team Cap.
Let's talk about that. Bonjour, and welcome to this week's Booze and Bazinga podcast from the cocktail equivalent of JD and Turk from Scrubs.
Who's who?
Well, I'm clearly the cool one.
I'll be JD.
I'm the cool one who's married
I can dance.
with the increased risk of diabetes.
But I can dance.
You can dance.
You can dance if you
can
want to.
really dance.
No friends of mine.
This boy is a dancer.
When Captain America throws his mighty shield.
So what are you drinking? We actually have cocktails this week.
I haven't got a clue what I'm
actually
drinking.
have
You made
cocktails
this.
this week.
You tell me what I'm drinking.
Cool. You're drinking a 4th Regiment,
Mm-hmm.
which is equal measures of blended Scotch or bourbon. We've gone with bourbon.
Which one?
Cavall bourbon.
Very nice.
We've gone sweet vermouth. We've actually used a sweet muscat wine, which is called beer.
Okay.
It's spelled B-Y-R-R-H.
Check out Bartender HQ.
Put a little
we have
thing,
a podcast
put a-
all about it.
Put a little logo on the screen. Right here.
Oh, right there.
Right there.
It's just there.
Cool. So there.
Right there.
Then you've got 3 types of bitters. So you've got celery, Angostura, and orange bitters.
Okay. What is the bitters? What is this bitters?
Is
In one sentence. Go.
bitters are intense flavourings used to add depth to a cocktail.
That was a shorter sentence than I expected. I was still drinking.
I thought it was pretty good.
That was really good.
Right.
Is there any way they can find out more about bitters?
Yes, I will be posting an article on liquidthoughts.co.uk very soon entitled Bitters and How to Use Them.
But more to the point, what are we talking about on this week's
I'm
show?
drinking a grasshopper, thanks for asking.
What are we talking about on this week's show?
We're talking about Civil War. And
But first, what are you drinking, Sam?
I'm drinking a grasshopper.
Okay.
So, depending on who you are. Equal measures, creme de menthe, creme de cacao, which is like a chocolate liqueur. I'm using white because it gives a better colour to the end.
Yes, it does.
And then it's just topped with milk or cream or a bit of both.
Or anything you can find that's white. In
Maybe.
your fridge.
Yeah.
And what are we talking about on this week's show, Sam?
So we're discussing the differences and we believe between Team Cap and Team Iron Man. Who was right?
Team Iron Man.
Team Cap.
I mean, it's Team Iron Man.
So, right, let's start off. Let's talk about the team. So who was in your team?
My team?
Yep.
So, we've got Iron Man. We've got War Machine. We've got Scarlett Johansson, not Witch. We've got the Black Widow. She's on our team. We've got the Vision.
Is she appearing as Scarlett Johansson?
I think she should. I think you put Scarlett
probably
Johansson on your team, you win.
Yeah.
Just you win at life. We've got... who else do I have on my team? Come on.
You got
help me
Black
out.
Widow,
Yep.
War Machine,
Yep, done that one.
Black Panther,
Oh,
Vision,
Black Panther, yes.
and Spider-Man.
Minor character in the movie, Black Panther and Spider-Man. Nobody really worried about them that much. Okay, that was pretty much the focus of the movie, was these new characters.
Yeah.
So Black Panther, all the way through the whole movie, he's in there right to the end. I will... Let's just say spoilers right now.
Yeah, super spoiler.
Spoiler alert.
All the spoilers.
We are... Every spoiler is going to be here. But if you haven't seen it yet, what are you doing? Go
Yeah, they've
turn
had
it
plenty
off,
of time.
Go and watch it. You've had plenty of time. Or just watch this and then go and see it afterwards. You'll still enjoy it. It's still really good. But yeah, I think my team, Vision, obviously the most valuable player.
Yeah, he's
Sports
got MVP.
analogy. Get there.
We know sports.
Yeah, we do. And then, War Machine and Iron Man, both pretty badass. How do you compete with War Machine and Iron Man, really?
Well, apparently you just get Falcon.
Not
Who was
really.
badass in this film? Give
Was
him it. He was pretty good in this film. It's the best we've seen him. He had so much more character development. He had...
I liked him in Cap 2.
I think he was good, but he didn't
He had that run around the
They had to run around the park.
He ran around the park. He got wings. What more do you want?
Well, right, my team. So I had Captain America, Scarlet Witch, Falcon, the Winter Soldier, Ant-Man, and Hawkeye. Who was literally only in the film.
Literally out of retirement.
So that Black Widow had somebody to fight in the airport scene. The only reason they had him in that film.
It was a bit sad, wasn't it?
They had no reason for him. Right, firstly, so my team was better because Scarlet Witch turned the Vision into a little bitch.
Yeah.
Which that happened.
I mean...
Don't understand how, to be honest, but she did. She's only just learning her powers as well.
Look, I've got some magic. Yeah, but
she's going to get super cool.
The stone.
Yeah, but they're both from that, aren't they?
And none of them know what it means yet.
You got...
Bring on Ultron. Bring on Thanos even.
Thanos, yeah.
That makes more sense.
So I got Falcon, who was kick-ass in the film. Literally, he's gotten so much better at everything.
Well, it's a good job. Soldier, it's a good job we didn't have Ant-Man because, like last time, that was embarrassing for Falcon.
Yeah, that was embarrassing. I give you that. But then he did the same thing with Iron Man. The whole getting in the suit and they've done that a few times now. Winter Soldier, who kicked everybody's ass. Frankly, the only person whose ass he didn't properly kick was Black Panther, and that was because they were pretty evenly matched. Ant-Man with Giant Man was fantastic. Even Ant-Man normally.
Spoiler.
Yeah, Giant Man was brilliant.
Yeah, we've already done spoiler alerts.
And
get on with it.
Hawkeye was again either he was just in the film so that Black Widow had somebody to fight, and so that they could do the iconic him on the arrow.
Yes,
which
that was a brilliant scene. Now, just before we move away from Ant-Man and Giant Man, I don't know. Now, I know you've not watched any of the Flarrow Legends of Tomorrow stuff.
Mm-hmm. No.
In the... I think it was literally the week that Civil War came out. We had the Atom in DC's Legends of Tomorrow, and spoiler alert, turned into Giant Man.
Okay.
Now, the Atom has very similar kind of powers to Ant-Man. That's the whole point, is the two have very similar things where they can both shrink down. And guess what? The week the Civil War came out, the TV show decided, sod it, we're gonna make Ant-Man, we're gonna make the Atom go giant as well. Now, I think it was a little bit of a nod to it, or a bit of a nudge and a wink and a we beat you to it. But
that, or it was a little bit of a please watch our show.
Well, I don't know. Legends is doing well.
I haven't seen it. I do want to watch it.
It's doing better than the Marvel TV shows, other than the Netflix ones. The Netflix ones are wonderful.
Whole difference there. Anyway.
However, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. needs cancelling. They've got rid of Agent Carter. They've got rid of the others. Get rid of it.
Tangent.
Just keep.
Let's get back to Team Cap versus TR, man. Otherwise, this will be an hour-long podcast.
Coming back. It probably will anyway.
So, right. My team was better than yours.
I mean, you're wrong, but carry on.
Because...
Do carry on.
We beat you almost every time.
Did you, though?
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah.
What happened when Spider-Man and Winter Soldier and... Was it Falcon? Had a little bit of a fight.
That was good.
And
that was quick as well.
Spidey pretty much whipped them both simultaneously.
Yeah, but those are two humans versus a meta-human or whatever they're calling him.
Spider-Man.
A Spider-Man.
Jeff Spider-Man.
But...
He did, and he was chatting all the way through it, very casual. It wasn't even like it was hard work for him.
I know, but Bucky's got a metal arm. Although I did think when Bucky punched him.
Hang on, are we gonna pull the amputee card? Really? Is that what? Yeah. He's a veteran. He's got no arm. You've got to be nice to him. No,
Exactly.
This guy's fucking 17.
Bucky got his... Although when Bucky went to punch him and he stopped it, I couldn't make my mind up if I agreed with that. Because I felt like the winter shoulder should have been stronger.
The winter shoulder?
The winter shoulder.
What about the winter elbow and the winter wrist?
because he's got a metal arm, can he just get it upgraded?
Well, he could, but Iron Man wasn't on his team, so he can piss off.
That would be a good...
It would.
He picked the wrong team.
He was on the wrong team.
He should have got an upgrade.
Exactly. Like, if you're an amputee, surely you want to be on Team Iron Man's side. Because look, like War Machine, spoiler alert, he gets a bit hurt. He gets rehabbed. Because guess what? Stark's got a bunch of tech that can help.
Right. So where do you think the Hulk and Thor would have placed? If they were there.
I think we would have seen Hulk on Team Iron Man and Thor on Team Cap.
See, I disagree.
Really? Really?
Because part of the podcast.
It is?
No, because it kind of makes sense like that. But think about it. The Hulk has been evading like the army all his life.
Yeah.
So he's going to want to be like, no, I want freedom. Like, I can't, no one can know where I am. And blah, blah, blah. And Thor,
yeah, that makes sense.
Thor is now all righteous and,
yeah.
you know, there needs to be structure when I'm
Structure.
king of, there needs to be structure for when I'm king of Asgard. Do you know, like, you'll definitely have to...
See, I looked at it from the other side. In that Bruce Banner and Stark worked together a lot in the first Avengers movie.
Yeah.
As fellow scientists.
Yeah.
Thor had the whole righteous thing going on, which is why he could, which is why Cap could pretty much pick up Thor's hammer. Mew. So that was why I put them the other way around. But yeah, I can see that. I mean, obviously you're wrong.
Nah, because the Hulk, there's no way that Banner doesn't like fighting. So there's no way he's going to sign something that says, I have to, like, if I'm told to, I have to go into fight. Because he wants to go there as little as possible.
But I think he would like the fact that he wouldn't have to fight anywhere near as much.
Yeah, but he could not fight at all. But he doesn't because the team want him.
Both head off into space and take part in their own buddy cop movie that's coming in 2017.
So Iron Man and Captain America, who had the best motivation?
Oh,
because I think Cap.
I mean, obviously Iron Man.
So I think Cap.
Show you working.
Right. So I get the whole adaptation to TV.
Mm-hmm.
He's on about freedom.
It's a movie.
He's on about freedom. He knows his friend didn't do or wasn't in control. So he's trying to save the person in the right. He even says at one point, if I see something going south, I have to stop it.
Yeah.
So, whereas the other guys are saying, you'll do as you're told.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he's right. Because how can you expect him to not do something when he knows he can help?
How many people?
Because he's not allowed to get involved yet.
How many people did the Avengers kill in New York?
And how many did they save?
How many did they kill?
I mean, realistically, this is all Thor's fault because the only reason Loki got involved with Earth is because of Thor's little.
And he just sloped off into the background because he knew that all of this rubbish was coming along. So we both know what happened with, and hopefully you guys all know as well. Otherwise, you really shouldn't be watching this. You know what happened with Winter Soldier and Mama and Papa Stark.
I don't agree with that part.
He went all Batman on them. He didn't go Batman, but his mum and dad got murdered, and now Stark wants vengeance. What don't you agree with about that?
Firstly, he's never been like a big, oh, my dad this, my parents this. Like, he's never spoke about his mum. Ever. Like, so Yeah, they're his parents and he's attached and all that, but...
She might have been shit at soldering.
Well, yeah. But his reaction was just a bit... OTT. And I get he's in a bad place and all this is going on. But also, it was a stupid idea for film. I get why they did it for the film and that they wanted to put it in so that it changed, like, so it reignited the argument. Why didn't they just kill off Rhodey? That would have done the same thing and pleased us all because somebody would die.
Well, the thing is, his parents were already dead in the show, in the movie universe. And we were aware of that.
Yeah.
So, surely making their death mean something is a good way to go, because you've not got to change anything else that's going on in the universe. It's just about motivations for the characters you've already got.
But it's just been brought into it for the sake of being... Like, it's not been like... It's not like Batman, where we know it's the reason he turned into who he is.
Okay.
It's more... That worked for the other film called Batman, so we'll just slide... I think that the Russo brothers just kind of thought...
Yeah. Like, I think this is something as well we should talk about, is actually the parallels between this and Batman v Superman. So, Batman vs Superman, Batman's whole motivation is his parents died. Superman is fighting Batman because his mum's held hostage.
He doesn't really have... No, because he didn't like him before that, did he? Because he saw him as a vigilante.
Yeah.
So he was just...
But that was the reason for that fight.
He just didn't like him.
Yeah, but
he wasn't killing.
Yeah. I don't know. It's a bit of a weird one, and I think that's one of the things that as well people really disliked about BVS was that kind of mum's parallel thing, because it was a bit
the whole
constructed.
name thing.
It was like Martha.
Like, it was just a bit.
Yeah,
pants.
It was, but then we come to Civil War, and everyone loves it.
But I think it's because, like, I mean, they didn't show the political bit well enough in Batman v Superman.
Yeah.
Whereas they did it really well in Civil War. And I think that's the main difference.
But the thing is, like, politics works really well, but I can see why people were scared of doing it after, say, the prequels of Star Wars. Because that was basically just politics and no interesting shit to watch.
Yeah, but like the arguments are very different for each film. I mean, there is the whole Superman argument, which is more similar to they have this much power, should they be allowed to do everything? Whereas with Captain America Civil War, it was more at the forefront, and that's the reason they were fighting.
Yeah.
Whereas in Batman v Superman, it was more, we want to see them fight because that's going to make money.
Yes.
Oh, we need to put a reason in there for them fighting. Oh, well,
yeah. It was a bit contrived.
The Russo brothers made it the reason they're fighting, and they showed it really well. You know, the whole, like, starting with Stark and that woman saying, you killed my son, blah, blah, blah.
The thing is, as well, I think Tony Stark has changed so much from Iron Man, from the first Iron Man movie that we saw in 2008, to the Iron Man we have today. Like, he started off as being very much that vigilante kind of character, the kind of happy-go-lucky, deal with things his own way character, and now he's had a complete 180 flip.
Yeah.
To being the guy that is the establishment guy. Which I think is so weird, but it works really, really well because we've seen his whole journey. So we've seen him from, like, Iron Man 1, gung-ho, I've built a suit, this is wicked. Iron Man 2, whiplash, made me his bitch briefly, and now I've got a new suit, and that's better. Avengers, all that stuff happened in New York. Iron Man 3, PTSD Iron Man. Do you know what I mean? I know a lot of people have problems with Iron Man 3. I don't think any of it is with Tony Stark in that movie. I think the only problem that people have with that is, spoiler alert, the Mandarin. People didn't like what they did with the Mandarin compared to the comic books, but then if you've seen the Marvel one-shot, spoiler alert, they've changed Mandarin again, so kind of there is an actual Mandarin that's not...
Do you think that was just they backed out?
I think they did. But
they realised they messed up.
If you can kind of retcon it a little bit like that, and if you've got that kind of capacity to do it, and it sort of makes sense for the show and for the kind of the arc, then cool. Recognising you've made a mistake, not a bad thing.
Mm. But yeah, like I think Iron Man 3 was one of my favourites.
Yeah, me too, actually, when I first saw it.
I thought Tony Stark was fantastic.
Yeah.
Like, Robert Downey Jr. brought, like you said, he changed the character.
He made him real, he made him a human. And he'd been good all the way through.
Which is something we don't get from a lot of them.
Yeah, exactly. And I think, actually, in fairness as well to Ben Affleck in BVS, I know we're going off in a bit of a tangent, but he made you understand why Batman was so angry. Like, there were a lot of problems with that movie. Ben Affleck was not one of them. For me.
Which was the biggest worry for everyone.
Yep.
I mean, we all know what we got.
The one that everyone hated.
We all know what we got from Man of Steel. So.
Yeah.
Downey Jr. made him real. He made him into... And it's probably why you understand him now. Because Captain America's quite a one-dimensional character.
Yeah, he's the good Boy Scout.
Yeah. And I think if they'd took the original Tony Stark to do Civil War, it just wouldn't have worked. Mm-hmm. Like, because you'd have been both thinking, young, and you both should be on the right team here.
Well, that's
or
the
if
thing.
anything, they should have done it the other way around.
Yeah, in the comics, you definitely knew Stark is the bad guy, Cap is the good guy.
Yeah.
It was a lot closer to being... Because otherwise I wouldn't be Team Iron Man still.
See, I went in as Team Iron Man. Because I thought, from the trailers and what I'd seen, I was like, yeah, structure. He's right, this works. But when I left, it was like... But he was a bit of a dick.
But it's not that far off, is it? You still don't hate him at the end of the movie.
No, you don't hate him. Like you understand why he was, but because he had that bit before he found out that Bucky killed his parents, like he should have like, well, he had figured out that he would, this isn't a solution, and then he just reverted back because of Bucky killed his parents. It's like, well, okay. So you now disagree with the Sokovia Accords, but because Bucky killed your parents, you're still for them. How does it make that's not good motivation? And I know we didn't really get a proper end. Like the ending was a bit rubbish.
I do know what you mean. It wasn't as bad as slightly floating Earth on a coffin.
Yeah. No,
it was not that bad.
The ending was a bit bad. Like the after credit scene was just what we should have got at the end of the film.
Yeah.
And then we should have got an after credit scene that actually meant something. And then we should have not got... I get the Spider-Man one, okay. Not everyone knows we're getting a second film, where we all know we're getting a second film. And
yeah.
But, like, why... They definitely should have just ended the film a little bit different. Like, we don't even know who's in Wakanda.
No. But I think that's interesting because there could be, as well... I think it'd be interesting to find out that maybe Doctor Strange is already there. Or some of the other characters that we've not necessarily already seen, like maybe Captain Marvel's there. Because Wakanda has already got this kind of vigilante Black Panther that's taking care of the country, and maybe he's already got people that he's kind of incarcerated because of stuff they've done. Not necessarily the worst stuff.
He could go along with like the whole original, like from the comic books when they introduced Black Panther in Fantastic Four. It's because he wanted to hunt them down. Mm-hmm. So he could have done that, where he's hunted them down, like brought them there to hunt them down.
The other superhero is not Fantastic Four necessarily.
Like the other guys, like you said, like Carol Danvers and stuff like that. Get them in. That's how they could have introduced it. But then again,
it could be a good way of them already being in that prison, you see.
But then how do you bring it to like, well, if he's hunting them down, why are they in Wakanda, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. Okay, Next,
we'll leave that one to Kevin.
Yeah, exactly. But the next thing that I wanted to actually talk about is the Russo brothers have talked about the fact that the Infinity War movies are not going to be named Infinity War Part 1 and 2.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't remember if we mentioned this last week or not.
I think we did.
I think we probably did.
We touched on it.
Yeah. At the end of Civil War, Cap has kind of escaped, if you like. He's gone to Wakanda, where a bunch of the Avengers are hidden. And he basically looks like he's about to bust them out. Is the next Avengers movie not even going to be an Infinity War movie? I think it's going to be literally called The Avengers or The Secret Avengers.
I like the idea of it, and I think it'll be really good. I just don't know. I think I want them to make the Infinity Gauntlet a big thing.
I think it's going to come into it, but I think they're going to call it the Secret Avengers or Secret Wars or something like that. Infinity Secret Wars or something like that. Infinity Wars Secret Avengers or the Avengers Secret Wars or whatever.
I don't know.
But I feel like we're gonna see Cap's team for the beginning of it, because we know Cap is in the Infinity Wars for the whole thing, because he's already talked about the fact that he's had to keep himself in shape for the whole thing. He's had to block out like 9-10 months of his calendar purely for filming this. So we know Cap's going to be there. We already knew before Civil War that he wasn't necessarily going to die, which there were rumours.
Did you want it to happen? Because I kind of wanted it to happen.
I kind of did. A little bit.
But did you want him to get shot by Agent 13?
Well, I also
Or
didn't
Crossbones,
know.
whoever did it.
Well, I didn't know who would take over, whether it was going to be the Winter Soldier, which is the one from the comics, or Falcon, which is the one from the comics. Because let's be honest, there's so many different comics.
I would have
been Captain America.
Before seeing Civil War, I'd have thought they were going to kill him off, and Winter Soldier was going to take over, because he's had such not a small part, but compared to everyone else, he's had a smaller part.
Well, the thing is, Sebastian Stan,
and he means something to Cap.
Sebastian Stan as well, who plays the Winter Soldier, did audition in the first place to play Steve Rogers.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he did. He didn't basically audition for the Winter Soldier role. He auditioned to be Captain. So it would have been really interesting for that guy to also then become Captain later.
Yeah. Right, so favourite part of the film?
The airfield.
Yeah.
My favourite fight, the airfield, and mainly because of Spidey's fight with the other guys.
Right, so
and his kind of hero worship of the guys he's fighting.
Say we take that bit out.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you take that out, my favourite bit is when they're in the car, when Captain America, Falcon and Bucky are all sat in the car, and Bucky's like, "Can you move your seat forward?" I'm like,
yes.
Nope.
That's a brilliant bit.
Just the comedy
Falcon
in that bit.
And Winter Soldier hating each other.
Do you think we'll ever get
on the same team?
Do you think we'll ever get like a road trip film?
No.
Like them three.
If I'm honest, no.
Brilliant.
But I think we should definitely get more of Falcon and Winter Soldier banter.
Yeah. Or do you think
there's going to be more? I don't know how it's going to work or where it's going to come from or why it's going to happen, but it's going to happen.
Do you think there'll become like a love-hate relationship with it?
Like, I think they will. And the thing
we
is
love
as
it.
well, like I feel like because Steve in the comics has died and both of them have become Cap at different times, I think that would make a really interesting thing where you get a movie where you're not sure which of them might become the next Captain America.
I'd like to see a little bit of banter about one of them trying his suit on, and then the other one goes like,
It
"It'll look
doesn't
better
fit.
on me. It'll look better on
It
me.
looks
Give it
better
me,
on
give me."
them. Yeah, I can see that
That'd
happening.
be a nice little bit of banter. I like that though. That's what makes these films.
Yeah, or one of them catches the shield and they're like, "Nah, it doesn't suit me," and throws it to the other.
Yeah. Which, talking of catching the shield, the 2-on-1 fight.
Oh god, that was brilliant.
It was.
That was so good.
So apparently, right, they had to, because obviously the Shield CGI'd in it because because life. And
but even though somebody's done a YouTube video with electromagnets and catching the Shield, I want them to make that for the next movie. Make it a thing. Just do it, guys. It would be brilliant.
So yeah, he apparently they had to like literally get it all in sync, where they had to know when they were like choreographing it exactly where the shield would be, and if they did it like a split second too early, that had to go again because the CGI would have got there before his arm did, but it looks so real.
It does. It's so good. Like that was one of the highlights for me, just even from the trailers. I think we saw too much of that fight in the trailers. We didn't know where it was coming in the film. Perhaps.
Yeah, I would have liked to have
But like we knew that was going to come, where you got those two fighting and Winter Soldier lost his arm, because that was in a trailer.
Was it?
Yeah, it was in the background behind Cap.
I didn't know
it wasn't something they featured in the trailer. It was something that happened, and then Cap's like jumping towards Iron Man to throw a punch, and if you like freeze framed it, you could see Winter Soldier lying on the ground behind with no arm.
Oh, see, that's still good for me. Cause
I know, there are a lot of people that didn't see it, but there's a lot of people that did.
I didn't see it.
Winter Soldier's gonna die!
When it happened,
his arm is where his heart is? I don't know why that was a death thing.
Someone the other day really annoyed me. I was listening. They were on about his arc reactor. And they were talking about how if you rip his arc reactor out, he'll die. It's like, no, he got that sorted at the end of Iron Man 2? 3?
3, because it was the Extremis.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, I agree, and it was like, yeah, he would have done before, but not immediately either. It's not like as soon as the arc reactor's gone, it's like whoosh, all of the metal hits his heart. That's not what the point was. The point was it was running like an electromagnet that held the shrapnel away from his heart.
So it would have had a good few days or weeks.
Yeah, exactly. You can get to a hospital, you know. Why didn't just go to a hospital to get the shrapnel taken out? Is weird.
Didn't want to. Too dangerous, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's much safer to just fly around in a suit.
What's going on with him and
Pepper? She's gone. She's out of the...
Are they on a break or are they divorced?
Well, I think he read Gwyneth Paltrow's blog about her mental thoughts about health. I think
what?
Gwyneth Paltrow is... What's the word? No, it is mental. She seems to think a lot of, you know, the kind of traditional Chinese medicine that they've all checked, and you know, the alternative medicines. It's all very interesting, and the stuff that works is called medicine now instead of Chinese traditional medicine. And she thinks that, you know, you can cure your cancer by eating, I don't know, some sort of artichoke or something. I don't know. But she's got a lot of strange ideas. And I think Tony asked her, because he was like, you know I do science, right?
Okay, so your theory is that Tony Stark is actually with Gwyneth Paltrow, not with Pepper Potts.
Yeah. Okay. Pepper Potts is just...
She's a facade, but Tony Stark's real.
So. Yeah.
Okay, I'm with you.
Well, he's got that beard in real life. I've seen that.
Yeah, he's...
I haven't seen Gwyneth Paltrow with one arm of Iron Man armour on, though. Other than in the movie, so...
Yeah, okay, I'm with you.
Yeah.
Okay. Should we wrap this up?
I think we probably should.
Probably should 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, we've gone on for a long time. Go on then. So what do you guys think about Civil War? Who was right, who was wrong? Let us know in the comments below this video. Sam, where can people find you online?
Find me at www.liquidthoughts.co.uk.
And you can find me at bartenderhq.com. I'm going to make Sam write a post giving you the recipe for these cocktails if you want to drink along with us. Because we think people should drink more.
Definitely should drink.
Or better.
But responsibly.
But responsibly. At all times. So, we will see you again this time next week. Whatever this time happens to be when we've published it. And if you have something you want us to discuss, if you have a couple of sides to an argument that you want us to get into, let us know in the comments. And we'll see you this time next week on Booze and Bazinga.
Good Mythical Morning's going to sue us.
Good Mythical Morning!
Good Mythical Morning!